Hi there. We're very excited to launch the UniFi Dream Machine Pro in India. This is Ubiquiti's latest all-in-one product, which has disrupted traditional Wi-Fi devices and made it even easier to set up enterprise high-performing Wi-Fi in your homes and businesses. Maybe you've heard of the UDM. This is our all-in-one product for small and medium networks. This one is packed with a 4x4 MIMO access point, your 4-port switch, a security gateway, as well as the UniFi controller. The UDM Pro that we have here is a more advanced version of the UDM and probably the best value product that Ubiquiti has launched so far. It combines many other products in one, an 8-port switch, a security gateway with routing and firewall, as well as your UniFi Wi-Fi and your UniFi Protect video controllers. So let's go into a bit more detail about what the different features are with the UDM Pro. And after that, we'll open up the box and actually see how it looks and what's inside and even do a setup. Okay, so let's take a look at what the different features are in the UniFi Dream Machine Pro. The UDM Pro is packed with tons of features, and it's actually many different devices packed into one product. So let's take a look at it. At first, we have the security gateway. This is an enterprise class security gateway, which combines routing as well as firewall capabilities. It has 10 Gbps SFP WAN ports, application visibility, advanced firewall policy, the options for that through the UniFi controller, enterprise class IPS and IDS, which is intrusion prevention and intrusion detection. Then we also have DPI, deep packet inspection, to ensure your network is as secure as you want it to be. So in addition to the security gateway that we see out here, we also have a switch. As you can see, these 8 ports, these are all 8-port gigabit switch ports. So we do have a fully managed switch, and in addition to the 8 gigabit ports, we do have also a 10 Gbps SFP downlink port. So you can see this in the picture here, and you can use these switch ports to connect additional devices. You can connect more switches, you can connect more access points through this and expand your network as you need. Finally, we also do have the UniFi network, which is our UniFi network Wi-Fi controller. So this is one of the most powerful tools of the UniFi network. It's a software-based controller which lets you manage and access all your devices and all your capabilities from your screen and from the comfort of your home or your office. So many users have their controller maybe hosted on a cloud key or installed on their own server or on their own cloud platform. The UDM Pro lets you simplify your entire network, and there's no need for the additional devices to host your controller since it's all happening in this one device. So this acts almost like an integrated cloud key, which has the capability to host your UniFi controller and then lets you access it from anywhere at any time. And then we also do have the UniFi Protect, which is our Wi-Fi cameras, IP cameras, as we call it. And the UniFi Protect video surveillance technology, your NVR, as well as your storage, is all in here as well. As you see here, there's a kind of an opening where you can, it's an HDD bay where you can put in external storage. So we do have an 8 TB storage available, or you can get an off-the-shelf storage as well. And this lets you locally store all your video footage. So you don't have to worry about storing something on the cloud or the security on the cloud, because you get local storage here. So it's very clear that really when you're setting up your own network, the UniFi Dream Machine offers a ton of different features. And in addition, also to make sure when it comes to redundancy and to protect your network, we also do have a bunch of features like automatic failover. It has dual WAN ports. So there's automatic failover, and you can set this all up from the UniFi controller and also get alerts when your network needs to switch, say, from one ISP to the other due to your temporary failover. So this really is a very robust device. And if you're setting up a medium to large network, the UniFi Dream Machine Pro does the job of 3 other devices and even adds some additional functionalities and features into this, making it extremely easy to get your Wi-Fi network up and running. So now let's actually open up the device and see all the what the box looks like and what the different components inside the box look like. Okay, so now that we have covered the basics and the features, let's open it up and take a look inside to see what this looks like. So let's open it up. I'm going to take out the product here. You can see it's packed, compactly packed. Here, there's one box here. So let's take that out separately. And let's first see what's in this box here. So you can see here is your cable. This is your cable that will go directly into your power outlet and then connect at the back of the UDM. A small instruction manual, which will help you get to the online website. This, as you can see, these are actually some tools you can use to attach your UDM Pro to mount it. So depending on how you want to mount it, we have various rack mounting options. And in here, you can see here we do have, there we have some different kinds of screws, etc. So you can use what you need to mount it in different locations. So this gives you the flexibility to put your UDM Pro wherever you need it to be for your network. Now let's go back into the box and let's see what's in the box here. Just gonna open it here. There's a bit of a packaging, so we'll remove that packaging first, and then I'm gonna take out the device here. There we go. This is your main device. This is the UniFi Dream Machine Pro. So if you look here, it's kind of a metallic silver shiny surface, very much like all the other UniFi switches. If you see, and it's shaped very similar to some of our Gen 2 switches as well. In the front, you can see we have our 8-port switch. So you have 8 1 gigabit ports, as well as 2 10G SFP plus ports, as well as 1 WAN port, which is where your ISP connection goes in. Out there, we can also see there's a space for the external hard drive. This doesn't come included in the box. It's a separate thing you would need, but this is used to store your video from the UniFi Protect cameras. And if those are also on your network, it's definitely recommended that you use this to manage your Wi-Fi as well as your video network, your UniFi Protect network. And and at the back, if you see, this is where your power cable goes in, the black power cable we just removed. And then we do have also a UPS feature for advanced redundancy that's available only in the US right now. So this, as you can see, this is the UniFi Dream Machine Pro. It's an all-in-one device. So it's not just a switch, but also a router and also a security gateway and also your controller for your UniFi network as well as your UniFi Protect. So now that we've seen the UniFi Dream Machine Pro, let's go into it. So now that we've seen the device from the inside, let's go and set it up to see how that actually works. There are actually 2 options of setting it up: using the UniFi Network mobile app or doing it through your browser. And in this video, we're going to look at the browser option. So let's go first to setup.ui.com. So it's best to connect your computer's LAN port directly to one of the RJ45 LAN ports in the UDM Pro. And then once you go to setup.ui.com, your UniFi Dream Machine Pro should automatically show up here. So either you go there or you go to 192.168.1.1, but setup.ui.com should also work. And then this screen will automatically show up. So you can name your UDM Pro to whatever you want it to be. You can be as creative as you want. And then you will simply just be following the steps. So here you can sign into your ui.com account. If you don't have an account, it's your first time, you can create an account from this button here. This is something you need for most of your UniFi devices, and if not, you can. We already have an account, so let's log in to our account here. So this is the update schedule. We're always pushing new updates to your devices, so you have the option to schedule automatic updates as they are available. So many people like to keep this disabled, honestly, and then do a manual update whenever new updates are available, because of course, if you're scheduling it, you want to make sure you're scheduling at a time when it's not a peak time for your network. It's generally done late at night, but you can also keep it disabled and then manually change it whenever you want, or manually update it as well. So for this option and for this setup, we are going to keep it disabled here. Yeah, as we see, there are daily and weekly options as well, but let's keep it disabled for now and then hit next. Now you have the option for auto optimize. This basically tells Ubiquiti to automatically select the best settings for your network. In larger projects where we often use the UDM Pro, you may want to manually configure it as per the client's requirements. So you always have the option of turning off auto optimize. Of course, if you want something simpler, if you want a quick start, auto optimize is definitely something you can use, and some of the default settings are added. But I think today we're going to keep this off just so we can see all the different settings and make sure that we can configure it as per our requirements. And then also there is kind of this send diagnostics and performance information. That's something if you want to send that information to Ubiquiti to help us with future releases, you can, but you can also keep this off and it will have no impact on your network really. So then let's go and press next. And here basically it's a review. So you review all your details here. You make sure all the information you want is accurate. Of course, here it'll be your own username and your own location. This is a different one, of course. So, but you review it, and once it's all looking okay, you can click on next. And then the next step is going to automatically do a speed test for you. So let's have that. We do have our own speed test website. So you can go to speed.ui.com anytime for a speed test, and through our Wi-Fi Man app, the speed test will take place. So let's check out speeds of the network right now. Of course, the speeds are very dependent on what your ISP speeds are. So let's see how this is looking. We can see we have around 32 Mbps of upload speed, and download speed is a bit low, which we can then diagnose later. But this is again something you would want to check with your ISP. So it really depends on what speeds that your ISP have promised you, because the UDM Pro is going to not be able to really give you anything better than what your ISP has promised you in your plan. So here you actually have the capability of adding here the ISP speed. So whatever speeds you are paying for on your plan, say right now we're actually paying for 30 Mbps download and around 4-5 Mbps upload. That is definitely something you would want to add in here. And the reason being is then in the future, when they do additional speed tests, the UDM Pro can automatically check to see if there are problems with your internet service, and if your speeds are going to be lower than what your ISP has promised you, then we can alert you of that. But anyways, we click next on here, and that's basically it. So it's going to take maybe a few moments here. It's setting up your network, and there we go. It's already set up. So really your network is already done. Here we are. This is the interface of your UDM Pro controller. So out here at the bottom right, you can add more users as needed if you want to give access to your network to additional people who will be helping you manage it. You can definitely add more users. You can give different permissions as well. So you can give read-only permissions. You can give admin access. So let's see here right now there's only one user, but you can add different users and user groups. And then if we just kind of go back to the initial network and we go to the settings section, this is the settings of the UDM Pro itself. This is the settings of the device itself, not of the entire controller. That's what you're going to be pressing. If you want to go into your controller, you're going to be clicking on network out there, and that will take you directly into your entire, of course, your network. So but now let's just see what the settings are like. This is the settings button of the UDM Pro itself. And there, and yeah, there are some quick settings here of the device itself. So we've entered the device here. We can see some basic information about the UniFi Dream Machine Pro here. So let's go into the UniFi controller now. You can always go to unifi.ui.com to access it. Here you see the initial time you jump in, you're going to be able to see this prompt here. So you can choose to send us analytics or not. Now here we see that this is our dashboard. This is all your devices. You can see you can quickly switch from the UniFi network controller to the UniFi Protect, the camera controller. But right now let's just talk about our the Wi-Fi controller. As you can see here, we do have one switch, 0 access points here, which the UDM Pro doesn't have an access point, one switch here. And then you can also see it's being used currently at 11% of utilization, which just started off, so there's not much usage happening. And now we can also go into the devices section. As you see on the, or here, of course, it shows you throughput and latency. So of course, it just started off, so you can't really see much right now, but as you add more devices and use your networks, all these charts will start populating with data and figures. So yeah, that's the devices section. Let's go to the devices section here. And then here we can see all the devices connected. So I actually did attach 2 more devices. I attached a switch, a 24-port switch, the UniFi Switch Pro, which is our 2nd generation switch. And then I also have used up one of the switch ports for a UniFi AP HD. So let's click on the UDM Pro here. If you click on a device on the right panel, details about the device will show up, and you can manage all kinds of different settings about the switch ports, about your access points. So here, if you go in, you can see two of the ports are being used. Right now, one is actually being used for my computer. My computer is currently connected to one of the ports. And then the second port is actually being used for the switch, the UniFi Switch Pro. And then out here, we can see that one of the ports is, of course, the ISP connection is going in there. So let's close this out now. And let's go ahead and see how we can adopt our devices. So once you connect the devices, they're going to show us pending adoption. Just show the configuration here. Yeah, so this is kind of all your different features you can manage. We don't need to get into the details right now, but you can manage all your different ports individually for your UDM Pro as well as for each of your switches. And now you can see here, when you click on it, it opens up a panel, and then you can see the adopt button, which we had seen. So right now it's showing pending adoption. If you see the orange alert out there, this is pending adoption, which means we've just connected it and we haven't really set it up yet. But let's go here. So now let's go ahead and adopt these two devices. You can see on the right there's an adopt button. So I just clicked on those adopt buttons, and the orange, which says pending adoption, is now changed to provisioning, which means that the adoption is in process right now. It's going to take a few minutes to adopt. So while this is provisioning, we can actually go in and check out our UniFi Protect interface, the camera interface. So let's go in there. It's just simply from the same menu in the controller, you can go and click on Protect. And since it's the UDM Pro, both of them are in the same device, both the controllers in the same device. Right now, nothing is set up here. We're just opening it up, but I have actually connected one camera. So let's go ahead and see how we can add a camera into the interface here. Right now I have a G3 Flex. The UniFi G3 Flex is currently connected in my room here. So you can see there's one device connected, and it's also kind of in the adopting status. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and add that. Let's talk about how we can add that into our layouts, because of course, here we go. Okay, now it's online. So we can go simply and look at what the camera is seeing right now. This is a live feed of the camera. And then when you go, you can add a new view. And there we go. We can, let's select this view of 4 cameras. Of course, right now we only have one. And here we can, I'm adding this camera here and saving it here. So of course you have many different views here depending on how many cameras you have. You have the option of changing views. We have only one camera out here. So but you can see how easy it is to really add in your cameras to your view. So let's go back into the UniFi network and let's see how things are going out there. Yeah, it's a very quick switch. We're back at the dashboard of the UniFi network. We're slowly seeing, let this load up, and we're slowly seeing, we see 2 switches now connected and 1 access point. So clearly it means our devices have been adopted. So let's go back and see the devices section of it. There we go. You see the UniFi Dream Machine Pro, the UniFi Switch Pro 24 PoE, as well as the UniFi HD, and this is a different view. You can check it all out. Let's go to Maps, and this is what the layout looks like. So the UDM Pro connects to my laptop directly from the Ethernet port, as well as one connection from the UDM Pro to the UniFi Switch Pro. And then from the Switch Pro, it's a 24 port switch. I've used 2 ports. One is for the G3 Flex, and one is for the UniFi AP HD. So as you add more devices, this is something that's very helpful to check out your entire topology to see all your different devices and how they are connected to your entire network. So if there are, if you need to troubleshoot or if there are issues down the line, it's very easy to do it from this view and figure out where the issues might be. So it's important to know that the UDM Pro is not a centralized controller that can be used for many different sites. This is a local controller which is used for one site. So if you need a distributed controller, like if you have an office with say 15 or 20 different sites in different cities and you want to manage all of them through the same controller, a good option would be to use the cloud service and install a controller software on there. Again, the controller itself is completely free and can be downloaded from our website at ui.com. So overall, as you can see, the UDM Pro is a great option to add to your network. It takes just a few minutes to set up, and it's actually fairly straightforward. And then it also gives you a lot of scalability options with the managed switch that we have here. You can add more ports as needed. And this gives you access to the entire kind of UniFi controller universe. And you can see here, this is kind of the newest UniFi controller OS is operating in the controller. And then in addition to that, you also get the UniFi Protect controller, which is our cloud-based cloud access for your localized video cameras, IP cameras. And it has the storage for that as well. And then, yeah, so finally, as you can see, whether it's a small or a medium or a large office, it's a great option because the 8 switch ports on the UDM Pro let you add so many more devices. As you can see in this example out here itself, that we've connected one more 24-port switch, some cameras, some computers, and also an access point to the UDM Pro. So definitely a great option if you're looking for something simple, but at the same time, you want really powerful enterprise-grade Wi-Fi. Before we end, I just want to quickly say that we do have a Ubiquiti India YouTube page, so would definitely be a good idea to maybe subscribe on here. There's a red button below the video. You can subscribe there. And you can also visit the page if you have kind of want to learn more about UniFi, want to learn more about various Wi-Fi options. There are some videos that are general, like how to fix issues like slow speeds, and some that might be a little more specific to UniFi, talking about, say, guest Wi-Fi setup or talking about routing and firewall settings in UniFi. So there are a lot of videos here. We're continuously going to be uploading more videos. As more products come up, we'll be doing more unboxing videos. So a great idea would be to subscribe in here. If you enjoyed the video, you can like it. And also, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us in the comments. We do our best to reply within a few days. So post something in the comments. If you want to see different videos in the future, you can post that in the comments as well. And our team will surely get back to you. So thank you, and I hope this was helpful.